Good morning, everyone. I'd like to start this off with reading a few letters from some of the kids that I've been received these from schools. I have to put my glasses on to read this. Thank you for the gift of freedom and safety. Thank you for your bravery and courage. Thank you for protecting the Constitution of our country. Thank you for risking your life for us. Thank you for all your wonderful service. You're the reason why we are still a country. You are a hero of the USA. America loves you. Thank you for being a veteran. Thank you for protecting our state, and thank you for your service. I am also very thankful for you risking your life to protect us. So that's just a small sampling of some of the letters that the children give the veterans at each of the ceremonies. And I have to say how proud I am to live in a community where the schools are so pro-veteran. And I had the privilege of going to Carl Sandburg for their Veterans Day ceremony. I had the privilege of going to Meadow Ridge just this morning, and then Centennial School, and they all do it here and other communities as well. So it's just wonderful that they're teaching the children patriotism. So great job if any educators are here. And speaking of educators, I would like to welcome today the Lightkeeper Academy. All the children from Lightkeeper Academy have attended today, so thank you for coming. So before we begin, I have one simple favor. If you could just silence your cell phones, I'd greatly appreciate it. So again, good morning. My name is Dan Marsan, and I'm a U.S. Navy veteran, and I am the Veterans Program Coordinator for the Village of Orland Park Veterans Commission. What is the commission? The purpose of the commission is to promote veteran awareness within the community by planning events that promote basic American values, such as patriotic holiday ceremonies like today, programs relating to veteran affairs in the schools, and supporting current members of the military and their families. We host events like this on Veterans Day, Memorial Day, and we do a salute to the veterans at the Taste of Orland. We shipped almost 500 boxes of goodies to troops overseas this year. We raised over $40,000 from various fundraising efforts, such as the Orland Park Veterans Golf Classic, the Queen of Hearts, and other fundraising efforts. These packages that we ship are very expensive. We have to pay the postage. So we're always looking for donations for postage. So keep that in mind if you have a couple extra bucks in your pocket. And we are bringing in the Valor Express to teach our students what the Medal of Honor is all about. And I'll talk a little bit more on that later. So I want to thank all our volunteers who make this happen. And thank you much to the community for your outstanding support. So let me just pop this up on the screen here. Hold on a second. So in fact, our efforts were recognized by the Department of Defense, Vietnam War commemoration for Orland Park being a top performer. We were among the top 15% of the more than 13,000 commemorative partner organizations. So it was up there. Thank you to all that made that possible. So on behalf of the Village of Orland Park, Mayor Picau, Village of Orland Park trustees, and the Orland Park Veterans Commission, I would like to welcome you all to today's annual Veterans Day ceremony. Can I get can those veterans that were served our nation stand up, please? Happy Veterans Day, and thank you for your service. To begin today's ceremony, I would like to welcome the Color Guard from the American Legion, Post 111, the VFW Reber Tesman, Post 2604, and the Veteran Voices to Post Colors. Detail, halt. Right, face. Post colors. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for our national anthem. Please welcome Miss Teresa Kolsak from the Orland Park Children's Theater.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Right, face. Thank you, Ms. Teresa. Please welcome Pastor Don Borling from All Saints Lutheran Church, Orland Park, to offer today's invocation.
And you may be seated. I've done a lot of stuff already today, Lord. Ordinary stuff that I too often take for granted. Just things like making coffee and taking care of my family and going to work and unlocking the door. And then I see the flag blowing in the wind, a veteran in uniform, and I'm reminded of the passage of time. Lord, I know you hold these precious men and women in the palm of your hand, and we don't say thanks enough. May they forever know the depth of our gratitude. And Lord, empower us to honor our veterans by living a life worthy of the sacrifice that they have given. Inspire us to keep on marching to the beat of your spirit and in honor of their service. America, America, God shed his grace on thee. Today we are bound together by love of country and the gentle spirit of a God who unites us and empowers us. Veterans, you are such a gift. We treasure you and we honor you. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Don. So I was invited to be the guest speaker today, and I wanted to talk about the Medal of Honor. And I'll get into the reason why, but the Medal of Honor is America's highest award for military valor. It is bestowed on those who have performed an act of such conspicuous gallantry as to rise above and beyond the call of duty. The medal started as a simple idea from Iowa Senator James W. Grimes, and the first medal was bestowed on Bernard J.D. Irwin in 1861. Of the tens of millions of men and women who have served their country in times of need since the Civil War, there have only been 3,519 recipients. Among them are the names of generals and privates alike, of soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen, of Americans of every color and creed from every corner of the United States of America. As a symbol of heroism, it has no equal in American life. There are three variations, as you can see on the screen: the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army. The U.S. Coast Guard and the U.S. Marines are eligible to receive the Navy recognition. Out of the 3,519 recipients, 2,469 were from the Army, 749 were from the Navy, the Air Force had 19, the Marine Corps had 300, and the Coast Guard had 1. This is the only medal that is worn around the neck. All the other medals are pinned on. I wanted to talk about this medal because several veterans groups have arranged to have the Valor Express, which is the National Medal of Honor Museum bus, come to Orland Park. The bus will be at Carl Sandburg on November the 14th, Andrew High School on the 15th, and this is for students only. The public is not invited. However, on November the 16th, the bus will be at Carl Sandburg High School at 9 a.m., and the public is invited. There'll be a presentation in the Performing Arts Center, and you'll be able to tour the bus. In addition, we are honored that Alan James Lynch, Medal of Honor recipient, who will provide a short presentation in the Performing Arts Center. Alan Lynch was a sergeant in the Army during Vietnam in 1967, actually December 15th, near My An, Binh Dinh Province, Vietnam. And I would like to read Mr. Lynch's medal citation. For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity in action at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty, Sergeant Lynch then distinguished himself while serving as a radio telephone operator with Company D. While serving in the forward element on an operation near the village of My An, his unit became heavily engaged with the numerically superior enemy force. Quickly and accurately assessing the situation, Sergeant Lynch provided his commander with information which subsequently proved essential to the unit's successful actions. Observing 3 wounded comrades lying exposed to enemy fire, Sergeant Lynch dashed across 50 meters of open ground through a withering hail of enemy fire to administer aid. Reconnoitering a nearby trench for a covered position to protect the wounded from intense hostile fire, he killed 2 enemy soldiers at point-blank range. With the trench cleared, he unhesitantly returned to the fire-swept area 3 times to carry the wounded men to safety. When his company was forced to withdraw by the superior firepower of the enemy, Sergeant Lynch remained to aid his comrades at the risk of his life rather than abandon them. Alone, he defended his isolated position for 2 hours against the advancing enemy, using only his rifle and a grenade. He stopped them just short of his trench, killing 5, again disregarding his safety in the face of withering hostile fire. He crossed 70 meters of exposed terrain 5 times to carry his wounded comrades to a more secure area. Once he had assured their comfort and safety, Sergeant Lynch located the counterattacking friendly company to assist in directing the attack and evacuating the 3 casualties. His gallantry at the risk of his life is in the highest traditions of the military service. Sergeant Lynch has reflected a great credit on himself, the 12th Cavalry, and the U.S. Army. Lastly, do not confuse this medal with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That medal is bestowed on civilians only. So come on out and meet Mr. Lynch next Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Mayor of Orland Park, Keith P. Cow, U.S. Air Force veteran, captain, who will read the newly engraved names on Air Apache and share a special message.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. Thank you to all the veterans for being here today. We are here today to honor our veterans, but I also want to remind the families of the veterans here that you are not forgotten. Every veteran in this room is forever indebted to his or her family for your support, which was invaluable. Personally, I think that in many cases, military service is harder on spouses and children than it is on the military members themselves. I want to thank all of you in this room, the veterans, the military spouses and families, and the volunteer groups for all that you have given and what you continue to give while serving our country and its veterans. Veterans Day is celebrated annually on November 11th, and why we're celebrating it on the 11th day of the 11th month at 11 a.m., it marks the end of World War I. Since that time, we have fought several wars that have names: World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam War, the Gulf War, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and Operation Enduring Freedom. We've also had a plethora of other skirmishes and flexing of our military muscles that you may or may not be aware of. All of the veterans that are here today took an oath of office. Specifically, my oath was, having been appointed a captain in the United States Air Force, I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion, and I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God. There are some key words here. Defend the Constitution of the United States. The core of the United States does not rest in a political party or president or the press. The core of the United States is our Constitution. It is not just a piece of paper. It is not a living and breathing document. It is what our nation, the greatest in the history of Earth, was founded upon. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Our founding fathers knew that citizens needed to be protected against and protect free people from foreign enemies and invaders, obviously. But also, we need to protect honest, responsible, hardworking citizens within the nation from domestic lawbreakers who would use coercion, fraud, or force to deprive others of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion. Our veterans took this risk of their own free will. For taking this risk, we are frequently thanked for our service. And I know I, for one, and I know all the veterans I know, certainly appreciate it. But let me tell you, I am the one that should be thanking all of you for giving me the opportunity to serve my country. Serving in the military helped me achieve everything I have today. Without being in the service, I never would have met my beautiful wife, Betty, or had our 3 amazing children or 2 beautiful grandchildren. Serving my country allowed me to fly the hottest jet in the entire world at the time. Many people would give almost anything to fly in the F-15E one time. and I got to fly it over 1,000 times. Serving my country allowed me to see parts of the world I may never have otherwise seen. Serving my country allowed me to live with, train with, and fight with the most amazing and talented men and women I have ever met in my life. Their dedication, commitment, courage, patriotism, and character have no equal. I am blessed for having and still having those people in my life. Serving my country allowed me to go to combat and fight for you with some of these amazing people. People who I didn't know before the military, who would be willing to give their life for me without hesitation. The bond that we have will go with me to my grave. Serving my country allowed me to learn about myself, how I would act and react when faced with the ultimate test. Understanding that gives you the belief and confidence that you can handle anything thrown your way. This certainly came in handy a few years ago during the COVID crisis. Serving in the Air Force taught me a lot about leadership. The core values I learned 35 years ago still drive me today and have continued to guide me as mayor. Integrity first. Without integrity, you cannot lead people nor accomplish anything. Service before self. In my Air Force days, it meant putting your own life in the line when the time comes for the good of our country, family, and fellow soldiers. Today, it means putting the people of Orland Park first. Excellence in all we do. Excellence is not an accident. It is a result of high intention, maximum effort, intelligent direction, skillful execution, and the vision to see obstacles as opportunity. So please, don't thank me. I can't thank you enough for the opportunity to serve you and the United States, the best country on earth. That and my parents made me who I am today, and I'm blessed. Serving was my honor. It was their honor. Instead of thanking veterans for their service, I like to encourage you to do what I do, which is thank them for our freedom. Because it was and I'm going to read a small poem. Because it was a soldier, not the minister, who has given us freedom of religion. It is the soldier, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of the press. It is the soldier, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the soldier, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to protest. It is the soldier, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the soldier, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. It is the soldier who salutes the flag, who serves beneath the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag, who allows the protester to burn the flag. Charles M. Province. Now it is my honor to read the names of the veterans that have been added to the wall. And if you're able, please stand up when I call your name, and please remain standing until the last name is read. Thank you. Leroy G. Habel. Leroy R. Habel. Howard Habel. Robert Habel. James E. Newman. Richard K. Newman. Gregory A. Grigas. James R. Duhigg. Michael T. Benson. Frank Stone. John Kowalski. Joseph A. Gargola. Edward Cox. Leroy E. Giovanazzi. Nicholas Cantodiakos. Give them all a big round of applause. Thank you for our freedom, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Mayor Picow. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join Miss Teresa Kolsak singing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, Teresa. It was beautiful. Now, our veterans groups will salute our fallen soldiers. Please remain standing. Retire the colors, please.
Left, right, face. Forward, march. Detail, halt. Retrieve the colors. Fall in. Forward, march.
Please be seated. Thank you very much to the American Legion, Post 111, VFW Reber Tesman Post 2604, and the Veterans Voices for the Color Guard. Just a few announcements before we conclude today's ceremony. After the ceremony, those that had a name engraved on the wall, please come to the podium for your certificates. And then afterwards, I can show you, if you haven't already found where the names are engraved. And then please join us for refreshments in the other room. And later today, please join us in the dedication of our new Veterans Center at 1:30 today. The new Vet Center is at 14671 West Avenue. If you do attend, I ask that you park in the lot south of the building. So I talked about the Medal of Honor earlier and wanted to also extend an invitation to please join us next Saturday, November the 16th at Carl Sandburg High School, to tour the Valor Express and attend a short presentation in the Performing Arts Center, along with the Medal of Honor recipient Alan Lynch. As you know, we have a Hometown Heroes program here. You probably saw the banners over here on Ravinia. These banners are requested and mounted prior to Memorial Day, and they're removed after today. The banners will be available for pickup in the village clerk's office soon. I will send an email out to those that submitted the requests as soon as they're available. And if you are interested in getting a banner on getting a name on a banner for Memorial Day 2025, go to www.orlandpark.org/veterans. In addition, if any veterans are interested in joining the American Legion, the VFW, or the Veterans Voices, please reach out to the Veterans Commission or go to the website, as there are links for each organization. Lastly, we'll be having our annual Memorial Day ceremony right out in front, weather permitting, on May 26th, right here at the Arapache Memorial. If interested in adding a veteran's name on the wall, go to that same website. Thank you very much for coming out this morning. Thank you for all those that planned, organized, supported, and participated in today's ceremony. I also want to take a moment to thank Mayor Pekow and the village trustees for all of your continued support for the Orland Park Veterans Commission. We truly appreciate all of that. Many special thanks to Parks and Rec Department for all your support putting this together here today. I want to thank them. Let's give them a round of applause. And last but not least, I have one more special acknowledgement. I would like to thank Mr. Tom Dubleby for all of your assistance mentoring me. Where are you, Tom? Stand up. Let's give him a big hand. And lastly, thank you to all our service members, past and present, for protecting our freedom. Have a great Veterans Day.
Before you go, one quick correction. The ceremony for the building over right out that way on the other side of the ball fields, right out that way on the other side of the ball fields, is at noon or shortly thereafter. Probably for those of you who are able, it's a short walk. It's probably a lot easier than going to your car. For those of you who are not, you want to park over on the other side of the ball fields, kind of directly to the west of here. But we're going to start that at 12 or just slightly afterwards so that people don't have to come back at 1:30. So thank you very much.